Hi, this is Christian Mickelsen, and if you are a coach or you're thinking about becoming a coach, I want you to consider this. Coaching is the most powerful force for change on earth. If you wanted to change something in your life, there are a couple things you could do. You could just go try to change it yourself, and a lot of times people are successful that way, right? You could read a book and try to learn how to make those changes and then try to do it yourself. And some people might have success with that too. Or you could go to a training program and learn more in-depth stuff on how to make those changes and then go to try to do it yourself and maybe have success, right? But the most powerful way to ensure results is to be coached one-on-one by someone. And there's a lot of reasons why coaching is the most powerful force for change on earth. Number one, because you pay for it. And as soon as you start paying someone, you start paying a lot more attention. I know for me, the first time when I hired a coach, all of a sudden, I had started a business that just wasn't really going. I started it and then started procrastinating a lot. I wasn't taking a lot of action. And then I hired a coach, and all of a sudden, I was part of the reason I was getting results was just because now I was more committed. I was like, all these things that I was putting off before, I can't do that anymore. Now I've kind of planted a stake in the ground and said, I'm committed. So that's the first thing is when people pay you for coaching, that starts the coaching, and all of a sudden results are much more likely to occur for people. The second reason coaching is so powerful is just to have an environment where you get to be the number one focus if you're the client. First of all, not all of the people in our life are the most supportive, right? We may have friends or family that aren't super supportive or coworkers. But even the ones who are, usually if you're lucky at best, conversations are a 50-50 two-way street. You talk a little bit, they talk a little bit. And oftentimes when you talk to somebody about what's going on, some of your challenges that you're facing, then people listen, but immediately they want to chime in with their own similar kind of challenge that they went through in their life or maybe overcame in their life. And that can be helpful, but it's amazing because coaching, you get to be, as the client, the entire focus of the conversation. Everything's about you, what's going on for you. And even if you weren't the greatest coach in the world, but if all you did was check in with your clients a couple times a month and you ask them, to review your goals, what is it that you've been working on? Tell me about your progress. Tell me about some of the challenges that are happening for you right now. If you just did that and you had your clients, just had the ability to share what was going on in their mind, to think out loud in a supportive way where somebody's holding space for them, that is powerful. Coaching, just the environment of coaching is really powerful. I had a client a few years ago, and it was one of our first couple of sessions, and I pulled out all the stops and did all my best coaching techniques and super ninja moves and whatnot. And at the end of the session, I asked, what did you find most valuable about our time together today? And he said, it was just being able to hear myself think, just to get all the stuff that's been rattling around in my head for so long, and just kind of get it out there where I could see it. And part of my ego was like, but you're not valuing all this cool stuff that I brought to the table, But what was even better was the insight that, just holding that space. I don't need to be a super amazing coach with all these ninja skills, although those things can be really helpful too. And anything extra that you bring to the table, your background, your experience, any special trainings that you've had, any special techniques that all those things help make you an even better coach and make the quality of the coaching even better. But let's not forget just the importance of the environment of the coaching itself. Now, the third reason why coaching is the most powerful force for change on earth, I believe, is because most of us know a lot of what we should do to get results. Most of the reasons why a lot of us aren't getting the results that we want, it's because we have, fears, doubts, limiting beliefs, confidence issues oftentimes. I know that's been the case for me and a lot of my clients over the years. Why do we not do the things we know to do? Why was I not taking action? Once I hired my coach and started paying, I started focusing more, but I still had some of these doubts and fears. And working with a coach, really helped me release a lot of the things that were holding me back. So years ago when I wanted to start my first serious, significant business, I hired a coach, and I had a job that I hated. I was being harassed by somebody at work. I was in a relationship that wasn't working. I was out of shape, and I hired a coach. Finally, really at my lowest point, I was just like, this has to change. And 9 months later, I was out of that job, out of that relationship, back in shape, working for myself full time in my business. And then 4 years later, I was single. I'd been single for 4 years, dating a lot, but nothing was really clicking. And finally, I hired a coach, and my coach helped me work through a lot of my inner game stuff about dating. And 4 months later, I met my wife. We've been together for over 10 years now. For me, I've seen the impact that coaching has had on me, and I've seen the impact that coaching has had on my clients. And nothing helps people make changes better than having a coach. Coaching is the most powerful force for change on earth, and you are infinitely powerful. God bless.